Hi YouTube, this is Dan Siegel from Hope for Zion. Just as a way of reminder, I have divided my preparations for problems that we may be facing into 4 parts. Remember the rule of threes and the rule of musts. The rule of must: you must have water, fire, and food. Learn multiple skills about acquiring water, fire, and food. Become the most valuable member of your group or family by the skills you have. Learn and live the beliefs that 1 is none, 2 is 1. Loose lips sink ships. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Be flexible. Things seldom go as you planned. And the 5th one is the rules change when the SHTF. The 17 C's of preparation. In this video we're going to be talking about number 2, part 2, combustion. Combustion, fire-making methods, have at least 3 ways to provide a fire. Matches, of course, are the most common. Lighters, spark igniters, magnifying glass, cigarettes or small cigars, a pencil sharpener, a small stove, or know how to build one. First, matches. Try to get strike anywhere matches if you can, and you shouldn't have to pay more than $1.75 to $2 a box for the strike anywhere matches. Have at least 3 ways to provide fire. The first method of making a fire is very obvious. Have matches if you can. Make your own waterproof matches. You don't have to go and buy an expensive match in order to, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make a waterproof match. Secondly, have lighters. You can buy lighters at the dollar store, again 3 for $1. To be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with the quality or how long they last, so you might want to look around and get some other better quality lighters, but I believe you can buy the Bic brand at the dollar store. It seems to me like they do have them over there, so get some lighters. Carry lighters with you, put them in your backpacks. And I say backpacks because remember, 1 is none and 2 is 1. You're going to be making 2 packs, one for you and one for your wife, or one for another member of the family, or maybe you want 2 packs, one to put on your carrier and one that you are going to be using out of when you stop to camp. Spark igniters. Get 3 of them. Not all igniters are created equal. Learn to use your igniter and your fire starter. Don't just have these and not know how to use them. If you see this coating on the outside of your ferrous rod, take a piece of sandpaper and buff that off, or you're not going to have fire. You got to have that's got to be buffed off in order to be able to use these. I'm going to show you how to make a directed spark using these in a later video I want to make. These you can buy at Harbor Freight for $1.99. That's the magnesium block. You can shave these with your hacksaw blades. Make sure that you know how to use your ferrous rod. Make sure that you understand what you're trying to accomplish, which is to build a fire. Get a welding spark igniter that you would use to ignite an acetylene torch. Those are good to have, and you can use those to light a triamazine fire starter. They start quickly. Or I'm going to make another video showing you how to make a very, very good fire starter, which is better than most that you can find on YouTube. A magnifying glass. you can start a fire with a magnifying glass. That's the reason I've included this in your combustion fire making methods. A jeweler's loupe or a map reading magnifying glass, any of this that will concentrate the sun's rays onto a combustible item. You can make a fire with a plastic bag in water also. You can, it will have the same effect as a magnifying glass. Have one of these, put them in your pack. Cigarettes or small cigars. Buy these small cigars in different places. You can go to cheap little cigars outlets. They're about $7 or $8 a carton, as opposed to cigarettes, which are about $30 some a carton. You're not going to be smoking these. I don't smoke, so but I still have these. You start one of these little cigars in a windy situation and they will continue to burn even in the wind, and that's the reason that I have put these in as a fire starting method in my combustion part of this video. A pencil sharpener. A pencil sharpener is extremely important. You can take a twig and you can make shavings. WD-40. WD-40 is flammable. It's made of usually some kind of a Stoddard solvent and DMSO. That's why it makes your arthritis feel better if you have WD-40, because it is incorporated with the DMSO, and DMSO is a penetrating fluid, and I'm going to talk more about WD-40 in another video. Wax. You need wax. You can carry this wax in the form of candles, and you can make fire starters as you are on the trail. Fire starters are basically two things: wax and wood, whether it's wood shavings, sawdust, or some other fine wood and melted wax. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about wax in a later video. Wax is an extremely important thing to have with you. A small stove, or know how to build one. When I say a small stove, I'm talking about a rocket stove or another stove that you might be able to acquire now that you would be able to carry with you. When I say know how to build one, a rocket stove can be made out of tin cans. It can be made out of cinder blocks. There's so many different ways that you can make a rocket stove, and there are videos that will show you how to make a rocket stove, but and I would encourage you to go and find these videos and learn what a rocket stove is and how to make one. They're very simple, but they're very effective. Fire starter compounds. Most fire starters are two primary things. Like I said earlier, they're wood chips, sawdust, and wax. And I don't know if you understand the nature of wax. Wax is a slow-burning petroleum compound, and not all waxes are created equal. There are three different types of wax. There is insect wax, like bees. Save that wax to make your salves and that kind of thing. You're going to need salves, especially when you're under the sun and that. You need some way to protect your lips. There is soy wax. You can get soy wax online. And most waxes, including paraffin, I've found for about $3 a pound. If you watch, you can find it pretty easily for $3 a pound. Beeswax is going to cost you a lot more. It's going to be anywhere from $15 to $18 a pound. And that's the reason why you don't want to be using your beeswax to make fire starter. Use the paraffin or the paraffin wax as much as possible. Anyway, I used to work in the petroleum industry in the oil fields, and I understand a little bit about wax, and I'm going to, when we get into the wax a little bit more, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I saw, but all oil wells are not created equal either. Some, the oil comes out so fine and so light that you can actually take it directly from the well and put it into a diesel motor. Now, I've been told that this is much hotter than normal diesel, so you need to cut it with diesel. Another well in the same range or field might be so thick with wax that by the time a driver who is required to take a sample of the wax gets to the refinery, the sample is already set up. Sometimes they are hard wax, the whole sample is hard wax. Sometimes they are the consistency of soft butter, but I have seen these wax samples that look like a light opaque yellow wax, and that is where paraffin comes from. Now, when you're making a fire starter, you can actually extend your wax, and I want to make a video on how to make the best fire starter that you could ever get, because I understand wax, I understand the nature of wax, and I know how to mix your waxes so that not only do you extend your wax, but you get a very good fire starter. There's a company that makes a commercial fire starter that is very, very good, and I want to show you how that particular fire starter is made in a separate video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and any comments that you have are always welcome. Please leave your comments in the section below, and remember to subscribe, and you'll get the updates as they are made on these videos. Thanks for watching.